This is Stanley Hour, Graphy Pikin. Now Graphy sings this, make we check sense, all we wise. Graphy sings, giving voice to community challenges and idea solutions now and in the future. Today, our guest is Domatop Serial Gavala, an entrepreneur in Bamenda. He is addressing the problem faced by most adults with respect to managing their personal finances. But first, a word from one of Graphy Sings' biggest sponsors. Graphy Sayings, brought to you by Graphy Fine Arts Incorporated, Lanjo Coaching, New Breed Africa Foundation, UIG Incorporated, Codatix, Sheepy's Diary, Motani Incorporated, Hilltop Music Academy, Global Action for Community Development, Sound Engineer, Ringway Charles.
Talking about income, there is a crucial aspect. If at all you need to be able to change the position which you are. Say maybe you plan to buy a house tomorrow, you plan to buy a car, you plan to maybe invest in a business, you plan to move yourself from point A to point B. It's absolutely important you would have to save, because money in your hands is definitely going to attract more expenses which you spend on. But if you are able to save, it's easier to have that money safeguard somewhere, and successively can give you now the possibility to have something considerable, maybe to invest in a business, to maybe buy a house, buy a car or something. There are also options like the Njangi, which people are very familiar with. Here, everyone having a Njangi or so. But what you should also bear in mind is the money you will raise from that Njangi should be maybe get towards investing in a business, investing into a particular project that is worthwhile. It shouldn't be such that it is meant just for personal consumption. However, it's not as if people shouldn't consume, but it should be done objectively. Investment. The only other way you can actually increase your income is increase your value proposition. By value proposition here, I mean if you are a professional who offers certain services, find ways to increase your reach. Offer that service to more people that will generate you money. If maybe you're working in a professional milieu, find ways to propose extra value to that company, where that can pay maybe your salary to be raised, or extra service that you can offer to the company and get paid for it. And if you are a businessman like I am, you have to constantly think of different ways of generating money. The company I run, there are actually materials which I actually figure out different areas where I could actually source those materials, supply to my company as well as other companies, and still generate extra money from it. This amongst many other ideas that you can actually come up with. So many, which I think maybe it could be a topic we could explore in a different episode. These are among many other ideas which I think people can do to actually generate extra money, to be able to make sure their income is always maybe more than the expense. And lastly, investment choices, making sure you are smart with your investment choices. Not necessarily falling for Ponzi schemes, which are maybe littered here and there. And also, there's one particular investment option which I think people confuse it for an investment. There's an action which people confuse it for an investment. Building a house before a business. You would see people sometimes will go take a loan instead of investing in something that would generate them recurring revenue. They would say, okay, I'll build a house first because I want to save myself from a 40K, 50K rent. Then when they build a house, they realize that even the expenses in terms of maybe interest they're paying on that loan is a lot more than even the rents they were paying. Yet there's no corresponding income being generated from somewhere. However, this is a bit more complex. I think it's also an issue which we can discuss in another episode. Thank you.
That was Domatop Serial Gavala, an entrepreneur in Bamenda, addressing the problem faced by most adults with respect to managing their personal finances. Graphic Sayings, brought to you by Graphic Fine Arts Incorporated, Lanjo Coaching, New Breed Africa Foundation, UIG Incorporated, Codatix, Sheepy's Diary, Motani Incorporated, Hilltop Music Academy, Global Action for Community Development, Sound Engineer, Ringway Charles. Thank you for listening. See you next week for another episode.